Edward here from the Crypto Viewing Group. Another quick plug for my friends, my pals, my teammates over at the Crypto Viewing Group. Okay, this is, well, part 2 of the remote viewing myself, but it's actually part 1 because I accidentally uploaded video number 2 when I thought I was uploading video number 1. But that's what they call Wabi Sabi. It's Wabi Sabi. Wabi Sabi is a Japanese term that means it's perfect because it's imperfect. The magnificence of imperfection. It's perfect because it's a little effed up. That describes my work perfectly. I am very wabi-sabi. So this is actually part 1 here. Now these, and the previous one, these are videos from my Patreon page that are from several months ago. And so I'm releasing them now for free here on my YouTube page. So that's why I'm saying things like I'm in quarantine, because this was in March. So yeah, the quarantine was kicking in and blah, 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 blah. So this was an interesting session here because again, the tasking, I don't even have it, was, where am I at? That's 10 minutes, 8 seconds. There it is. Wait, oh, here. Can I get a better shot? There. The tasking, this is from 5 years ago. I asked Dustin Newcomb for a target. He set up a target for me. The target, unbeknownst to me, was me and my ability to remote view. So it was about my physical being and the essence of my being, as well as the part of my being that is where my remote viewing abilities exist. Very interesting, very cool tasking. I really loved it. It was great. I enjoyed the sessions very much. These things here are interesting for me to go back and look at because this keeps coming up in other sessions that I've done. So this is representing something that is still unfolding to me. It looks like snowflakes, but it's not snowflakes. It's not snowflakes. It has something to do with the state. This is the representation of some state, and it goes to my question that I've been asking for many years in my remote viewing exploration of what state does the input exist in as it's acquired and begins its process of moving through our emotional and mental processing realms as it's making its way verbally or on the paper or on the board or whatever. But that input, that quote-unquote target, that point in time and space or that range in time and space or that location exists in some state. And this right here is a recurring element. I'm telling myself something. So that goes to answering that question in my mind. I'm getting closer to what this is. Okay, so this is actually part 1. The other one was part 2 because it's very wabi-sabi. It's very wabi-sabi. It's very wabi-sabi of me. My wabi-sabi's coming out. So one last plug for my friends, my pals over here at the Crypto Viewing Group. Check that stuff out. I'll have the link below. We got cool, important stuff that we post on a daily basis, or almost daily basis. Okay, so here it is, part 1 of remote viewing myself. I hope you enjoy it. Many more to come. All right, Patreon friends, let's take a look at this now. We'll go through. There's, I think, 4 sessions for this. And I think I'll go through 2 and I'll do another one. I'll do a second video and go over the other 2 sessions. because I want to really analyze these sessions. This is so 2015, March 6th, 5 years ago, this month. I sent Dustin Newcomb a text. I say, "Hey man, can you set a target up for me?" He sets up a target for me. 2816-1686 is the target reference number he sends me. I'm blind. That's all he sends me is the reference number. I do the sessions, and this is the feedback I get, unbeknownst to me, of course, because I'm blind. The target was me. These are the elements of the tasking here. Perceive, understand, and document fully yourself, Edward Reardon, and all aspects of your physical being in this lifetime/timeline. Perceive, understand, and document fully the life force that expresses itself in this current lifetime/timeline as Edward Reardon-ER viewer. Perceive, understand, and document fully all aspects of the being and life force known in this timeline/lifetime as Edward Reardon's remote viewing capabilities. Great tasking. Great tasking. Okay, this is the start here. What are my AOLs happening? Something's happening here. AOL jellyfish. Okay, there's a surface here. There are parts that are very low running along the surface. There's a dense area, thicker, less dense. And there's a surface brushing. Well, this was all a surface. Now I'm wondering, per the tasking here, this may be my physical being that I am experiencing. This may be my skin here. My physical being. Move to the less dense and describe its nature. So this was here, the less dense. Soft, slimy, maybe underneath my skin or something. Like a layer. And under that there's movement happening here. Light, thick, heavy, 1, 2, and 3. A layer here, it's heavy sediment like a mixed surface. It's moving slower. Oh, 2 is moving slower than 3. Well, if this is my physical body, then maybe this is like blood, this is the skin, or something along those lines. 2, okay, these must be elements, 2, 1, 2, and 3. It's darker in color, like there is debris in it, and above it is moving faster and is cleaner. It's like a thing moving over it. It reminds me of, and moves like a snake. This moving element here. Or maybe if this isn't my physical being, this may be, what was this tasking again? My life force. Because I go into elements of both of those and the remote viewing stuff too. Like a current. Brushing, cleaning, removing. This could be my blood. This could be the blood. Engulfing, AOL, fountain, all this movement. This faster and cleaner and cleaning, this could be my circular system, my blood system. Move to the connection that is of these two areas and describes what's connecting these two. Some kind of a transmission, communication, or a bridge, flight or moving by air and or water. AOL's Atlantis and Lemuria, yeah, that's an AOL. Two lands divided. They feel close emotionally, like the loss of a sibling, that kind of connection. There's a sense of longing. Okay, this is interesting here. This is interesting. This is going a little deeper than peripheral stuff. They feel close emotionally, like the loss of a sibling, that kind of connection. Stage 4.5 feels the separating of family, or the feelings of the separating of family or loved ones. That kind of feeling. This is like an emotional layer. like a part of oneself that has been split in two. There is that kind of connection. A part of myself that has been, a part of oneself that has been split in two. That kind of connection. This is where I am in this. This is in me, so I'm inside of myself. Like, it could be who I am and who I am in this versus who I am in this body. Is there a physical connection? If so, describe it. Magnetic. There is a pulling feel to it. Energetic. There is a pull. That's what I think this is, well, per the tasking. Perceive, understand, describe the life force that is expressing itself in this current lifetime. So I think that's what this is. There's a pulling. It feels like they are being pulled back together, being drawn back together. Stage 4.5, I get this feeling like the two areas want to join together or are energetically being connected. Yeah, that I would say is true. It feels like one is towing one is towing the other. This will be my essence, and this would be my physical being here, towing me through. What an interesting session. All right, the next one here. Okay, I go on. Oh, what's this? Flag, wire, like this is something on top. This could be the physical, this may be the physical, well, we'll see, hang on. On top, crusty, on top, a top layer. There was a flash there, and then there was something down here. Some kind of light in there. That was the flash under this crusty layer. Magnified. What? Magnify. Oh, this was interesting. Magnify what is interesting to me and describe. Oh, this got really interesting here. Frozen in time. AOL of the signal, like snowflakes. This is a magnified element here, and the idea of it being frozen in time, magnifying this, magnified. It feels frozen. The closest thing I can think of is a snowflake. It does feel cold, possibly frozen. Frozen like frozen in space, or in the vastness of a void. What is important about magnifying it, I wonder? Like little imprints, like stamps, or being stamped into, markings, frozen in time, markings frozen in time. I feel like I'm frozen in time. I feel like I'm frozen in time. Probably, I would say that this is probably my physical being, and I feel like I am frozen in time in the physical world here. Little imprints like stamps, markings. I feel like I'm frozen in time, and these snowflakes like patterns are all around me. Oh, I did a session. I just did a session for crypto viewing that had, oh man, I gotta go look at that. Oh no, that wasn't for crypto viewing. Oh, I gotta find it. I just did a session. Let me find it. Oh, where did I put that? Shit. I gotta try and find it. I just did another session where this came up. I gotta go and find it. I feel like this pattern is prevalent. There is a layer of this. A layer of this. Maybe are these well, let's see where else I go here. These are specific to this area. They are not over here. Oh, they're not over here, they're over here. The area is important. Soil, it's like a soil. Patterns are specific, possibly living or dead organisms. I feel I'm looking at a specific area here. Living or dead organism. Crust, it's crusted or encrusted. Surrounded by crust, draped. 5A, I think this is, I did a drawing of this. It looks like the top of a cake or a pizza. I think I took a break here. Or no, maybe I wanted to go in and I think I did some ideogram stuff here. Pronounced, sticking up, like there is something sticking up here, like a hair follicle. Something sticking out. And then I did a, this is my, I think this is my stage 5, this is 5A, this is 5A. This is my drawing from right here. Right here I pulled out a piece of paper and did another drawing. There was something in this area, top crust. The top is lumpy and crusty, specific area. It's not in this area, it's in this area. Like a mantle. Crust. The crust drapes over the sides. Thinking that's representing the physical element here. I move more. AOL, fish swimming, like a whirlpool, swirling, moving. Feel like I am underwater, moving around. Oh, I think this may be, well, let's see, because of where I go into this. This could be either the essence or it could be the remote viewing element. It's like a school of fish moving together, whipping. Moves like a snake. This moving energy, reflective colors here, winding. And this whole thing was moving, undulating. Like I was underwater. This was really interesting. In AI, my aesthetic impact was danger, concern, hazardous conditions. What does aspect B have to do with aspect A? Combining smooth. This reminds me of like a jet stream. I think this may be here, this aspect of the remote viewing capability. AOL of the signal, like it adds to the crust, like sediment falling on top or being brought over. Aspect A, or aspect A and aspect B. Adding to the sediment, dropping something on top. A and B. A, which one's A? Oh, this is interesting, because look at, aspect A was this crustiness, aspect B was this jet stream type thing. Per the tasking, aspect A is my physical being, aspect B is my life force. That's really cool. I will say that this is a very accurate perception. Now that I know, knowing what the target is, because I didn't know it here, I had no clue what the target was when I was doing this session, that the essence or life force, well, how did he word it again? Fully the life force that expresses itself in this current time as me. I don't know where I'm getting essence from. But he termed it as life force, not essence. So I would say that this is probably an accurate description of how life force actually moves. And in this drawing here, this is the life force, and this I would suspect is representing my physical being. This crustiness, this sediment, this this here, that element there, and here is, if I'm looking at it, this is my skin, elements of my skin, or my physical body. And this crusty top is, well, I think this is my flesh. Very cool. Got a couple more sessions I did on this where it goes more into then what, per his tasking, what element C would be, my remote viewing capabilities. So very cool. I did another session, I'm gonna have to find it, that had these things all around. These. It was, I just did it. I don't know where it went. I'll have to look at, I'll have to find it, and then I'll post it to see what I was perceiving in that session and how it could be related to what I was perceiving here, and how this relates to me. Or let me read this again. I feel like I'm frozen in time, and these snowflake patterns are all over me. What are these? Could be my physical being. It's interesting I would say that I feel like I'm frozen in time, because we are, in my opinion. We're frozen in time. We're moving very slow. The life force that we have moves very fast. So we physically, we move very, very slow. This is very cool. All right, I got a couple more sessions. I'll come up with another video here in a bit with the remaining sessions. So many more to come.